Never wake up before noon, my friend. Never ever. And don't you forget to relax in life. If you don't relax in life, then there is no life. Posedět si. Tak to si dá trošku espresso, trošku tekuté Coca-Coly, tekuté Coke. Příjemné si takto posedět. Tak to si povídat na tom světě. Později si dát tady later something for lunch. Have dinner with some señorita. Dutch one. Yeah. Life is a big adventure, my friend. And the most important is to suppress the suffering and increase the level of the pleasuring. That's the ultimate goal of every rational agent who is in the world. The rational agents, they improving their health, they pleasuring, and they suppressing the suffering. That's intelligence. Takže vlastně posedět si je vlastně inteligentní modus inteligentních živočichů. Inteligentní lidé si posedí, počilí si, porelaxují si. No idioti chodí do práce, přítel. Ne, vážně, já teďka tady prostě ta vládnoucí třída. Já teďka bych chtěl dát takový monolog. I decided to have a monologue. Actually, when we look at in the past, we can see that the society is structured with 5 pillars. Since the old fucking times, let's say when the mankind start to somehow organize itself, we can see that there is a level of emperors and kings. That's the highest one. Then the second highest is a royal court, right? So the privileged people who are in the company or who are in privileged, they have their own position or space, or they are allowed to be in a royal court close to emperors and kings. That's the second level, the second class. And then the third one is church, which was saying the paradigm, ethical and aesthetical and moral paradigm of the society. So the church tell you what to do, how to think, how to dress, how to fuck, and they got a power. That was the third level. Then there was the judicial system, judges, right, and stuff like that, lawyers and this judicial system. Then the fourth one is a repressive, authoritarian, services like police, soldiers, army. So you were born in the class of army man or policeman or guard. And then the last one, 99%, as you can see, they were so-called, how you call it in English? They were servants, or that's the other word for it. I need to have an espresso to recall it. So the servants, to byli ti lidi obyčejní, 99%. So if you're born in the group of servants, it's really bad. If you're born into the class, of army or policeman, you got some power. If you're born into the church, if you're born into the judicial system, lawyers and judges, it's better. If you're born into the church, it's even better. If you're born into the royal court, oh my god, it's really good. If you're born king or emperor, I know what is the word, subjects, right? That's the lower part, servants. So Now, what do you think how transform these five classes? Emperors and kings are billionaires. It's a Zuckerberg, it's a Elon Musk, it's a Billy Gates. They are emperors and kings. Then royal court, it's politicians. Yeah, it's a Joe Biden or I don't know. It's a Macron. It's Ursula von der Leyen. They are royal court, and they are pimped by emperors and kings. Because the royal court was always controlled by emperors. The king came to royal court and he says, "You are a piece of shit. You will do this. You will clean my fucking ass." Yeah. So now you see that I don't know who is pimping who now. I think Zuckerberg is pimping Biden or Musk is pimping who now. I don't know. Gates is pimping maybe European leaders now. Ursula von der Leyen. So you see, royal court are politicians. They are just fucking clowns, they're fucking puppets, They emperors and kings, billionaires, attach the strings to their backs and they puppeteering. It's a puppeteering fucking theater. Then the church is media now, of course. You turn on the Fox News, CNN, BBC, and they'll tell you what to do, how to fuck, what is good, what is not, how you should dress, and how you should behave, you should pay taxes, and what is immoral and moral. You turn on CNN and they tell you this is good, you racist when you do this. Then you do Fox News, they tell you you're really not nationalist. So the media telling you what to do, or social networks. Of course, it's the new media. So in social networks they tell you this, how you do this. In YouTube they tell you everything, So this is the paradigm of the times. And then there is a judicial system. It didn't change. These fucking prosecutors witch hunting the fucking Trump now, and all these cocksuckers and all these fucking constitutional fucking lawyers, corrupted motherfuckers, judges. You got them in your back pocket. And then there is a repressive, services, military and semi-military secrets like police, soldiers. It didn't change. And then there are subjects. They are then the servants, the normal people. So this is it. We will take a little intermezzo. Beautiful. I like the ass, the white ass. Oh my god, it's even better this one. So, what happens if you born into subjects, if you born into the group of servants? Well, you can make it up, right? You can climb your way up to become a policeman, to become a, lawyer or judge or soldier, or you can work in media, you got a lot of power and money, or you can become a politician, or eventually you can become a billionaire emperor. But if you're not if you're not deteriorated psychopath or sociopath, it's hard to become policeman and beating people, or working in CNN in media, or being a judge or politician. Is you don't want to do it, right? You don't want to do it. You don't want to be unethical piece of shit, So then there is another group. Which I have invented, or which was invented before. There is another group which doesn't follow any of these rules, and I am proudly telling you, announcing you, I belong to them. I would call them bandits, maybe. Like some kind of anarchists, rascals, motherfuckers. You see, so these bandits, these ladrones, these people, these pirates, if you want. These people don't want to be in any kind of a group. They don't want to be in any group. They can attack emperors, they can attack politicians, policemen, church, normal people. They can do anything. You stay out of the fucking system. Yeah. I don't know if I'm talking to subject most importantly. Most probably I'm talking to some subject. 9 to 5, imbecile. Your money is based on your time. Your ass is owned, Imagine 40 hours per fucking week. You're working for some motherfucker. It's 80% of your life is owned by some piece of shit. And money which you make is based on the 16 minutes, so you can never ever fucking make money because your time is your value, your money is based on the time you work for somebody else. So to get really into one of the high structure, you would need to work more than 40 hours, like 500 hours per week. It's impossible. That's why you have to base your income on a value of your product, and not on the time you working for somebody else. It's obvious because you're a limited piece of shit if you're working for somebody else. If you based it on the time and not if your capital, if your product which you're producing is like based on the limited time, when you're offering it to somebody or working for somebody, then you limit it. Of course, you can never get rich, right? It's impossible, right? That's why you have to remember that the currency of the fear is control, currency of the money is power, and currency of the time of the life is time. So time is the most important thing. If you got a time, then you can have a power, you can have a control, you can create fear, and you can make even money. Money is just a mechanism how to get there. It's a fucking Chinese papers with pictures on it so we don't kill each other, right? If you go after money, you never make money. You gotta go after power, you gotta go after time, you gotta have to go after value, you gotta go after other capitals, Then we have social capital, psychological capital, erotic capital. We got a lot of capitals, We got information, we got a cultural capital, You have to think how to make money out of nothing. It's like El Magico, The most important thing is information, If you know information and if you give it to somebody to sell it to somebody, or you tell him that you give him information, if he invests with you, and you multiply his money because he has no information, that's the way how to do it. You need just a psychological capital. That's what you gotta do. You got an informational capital. You got a social capital. Talk to the people who don't have the information, and then they will give the money to you. So you multiply because you don't tell them the information. Of course, you're not an idiot. That's your capital, the information. You ain't got no money, but you got the information. Now, what information we got regarding the artificial intelligence now? Have you realized that since prehistorical times there is a new generation from the Homo habilis 3.5 million years, there is a new generation of people which never ever were born 3.5 million years. There are people who born in online world, and before 3.5 million years they born in offline world. And because the world is full of idiots, as we follow the Gauss chart, no people really think about this, They don't think about it that Generation Z or these idiots who are autistic people, because they born in online world, they using emoticons instead of the words, and their brain doesn't work because they decoding it by reading. They have a tiger psychopathic autistic brain, and they're not able to take care about themselves. They are degenerative. So the internet is something like a plague, We think it's the best thing which ever happened to us. But it's here for 35 years. It was invented by CIA, and they don't know what to do with it, and they put it on the market. But a lot of cool, stupid idiots who are retarded and they sheeps, but they suffer from this factor sebevylučnosti, factor self-importance factor, like I know the best. So these stupid people think that actually it was a natural, smooth overbridging that the generation overbridged from the offline world into the online, but they didn't overbridge smoothly, and we start to not understand each other. Between the man like me, born 1992, and man born 2002, there is 1,000 years, 100 years. We don't understand each other. And now there is a zero. In 1980s there was a zero here, And now, after Christ was born, we've been waiting 2,000 years for Christ, and we thought he's coming when the internet was born. No, he's coming when artificial intelligence is. And now we will see the Christ after 2,300 years. You know, that's actually the artificial intelligence is something like a Christianity, right? We know that we live in some simulation, most probably. Yeah, the simulation, which is simulated by other simulation, other. There are a lot of simulations, you know. So there is some other fucker with quant mechanic, you know, computer, and he's simulating us. We are all now in simulation, you see. It's not real. It's like, and in this simulation we have other simulation, like the games, computer games. So we probably simulated by somebody, and there are thousands and thousands of simulations in this galaxy, or in these millions of, you know, we know that the quantum mechanics says that we actually, it's metastasizing the solar system and the space. It's metastasizing. So you know that there are thousands and thousands of galaxies, and in these galaxies there are thousands and thousands of simulations of some super intelligence. And this God, if you want, will, or this super intelligence created this simulation, and they probably simulate us either for reason to learn something about us, like a scientific, you know, observation, or for fun, they're just playing with us, you know, like, or, you know, it can be some ethical reason that they trying to learn us something or give us some beneficiary and follow the civilization, you know, ethical. That's why there is karma, Catholicism, these things happening to me if I do this, or fucking Immanuel Kant, you know. Actually Schelling come out with this romantic philosopher with something like that, you know. And so imagine that we are most probably in simulation, or we are in some forgotten, you know, corner of civilization, and we could be some forgot civilization of some sadistic maniac who is like simulating us on very filthy, you know, correlated quantum computer, and it's out of control, and he's just finishing this simulation because it started. Because we know that the super intelligent person, the highest intelligent, I don't know, the aliens, or you can call them the gods, or whatever, this super intelligence probably has the rules in their system, in this normal reality, because we are the simulated second reality. So even though they cannot break some rules in the super reality, so they cannot change the rules here. So if you understand me, they can be some part of the corner of lost corner of this space, which is Earth, and it's some really average stupid simulation, you know. That's how Woody Allen says the world is narrated by sadistic idiot, or, you know, or Dostoevsky says. That's why we have this feeling sometimes that some sadists control us. So it can be some not super intelligence, but some fucking sadistic pig idiot in this real reality, in this matrix. You know, we can see the hole in matrix, because if you focus in quantum mechanics in the fabric, you know, in the entity, so you go to protons now and all these fucking little parts, you see that there is a Heisenberg's rule of irregularity. So we know that it's like you zoom the computer game, you see that there are these squares because they're saving money on the computer games. So if we zoom out this phone or this fucking table, we find out that in quantum mechanics it doesn't work. The you know, the cells or the points, you know, the fabrics, they move irregularly. Yeah, that's why probably it's because they save money on this simulation. This simulation looks very good, you know. Look, it's great, right? There's a sea, everything, but it can be simulated. You see, it can be all simulated. And when you go down, we find irregularity in the atoms and protons. Heisenberg. Yeah. So it's probable that we simulated by somebody, and there are thousands of simulations. Yeah. In this situation, we are pretty fucked. Because in this situation, we don't know. Actually, if we try to make money in this simulation, we know there are some rules and they simulating us. Yeah. So for example, you want to do money unethically, or they let some people make money unethically here in this simulation. Yeah. Because they want to see what effect it has on them. Let's say they make some dictators to make money. So the simulator probably he's having a fun. He's punishing us, some dictators, making money, or so now some people say the artificial intelligence will be able to turn us off. They will let us escape from the simulation and turn it off, and we really, like in Matrix, get out and see our simulator and say fuck off. They say 15-20 years the artificial intelligence, it might resolve this problem. If we live in simulation, it can be turned off. Yeah. Well, we get a little bit far, right? But have you observed that if you take a risk in life, it's rewarding. You're gaining some experience, right? A lot of things happening actually. So you can see that this simulation, usually these people who sleeping, they working 9 to 5. You can simulate, you can sell your property, lie on the street, be drug user or hobo or living, eating rats. It's just a simulation, Yeah, so maybe it's not. But the bottom line is, think about things. Don't be a sheep. And then take a risk. If you take a risk, you lose nothing. You win only experience. You see? So I took a risk. I had some information. And I'm now here, I got retired, I think 5 years ago. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, lady. Can I have one Moldova espresso? Yes. Thank you very much.
Also with some milk on the side?
Yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, so there are ways how to get rich, how to have 20,000 euro per month. So not really rich, like it's enough 20k per month, euro or dollars, no? And you can just travel the world and do nothing. You can get retired, Of course, then there are other problems, This simulation is made so good that then, actually Catholic Church or Catholic teaching or Islam or Jean-Paul Sartre or Hinduist, Buddhist, they actually talking about same things with this simulation. It's just similar things which are said in, same things which are said in similar way and different terminology. For example, Jean-Paul Sartre says that we are determined totally, and there is no point to do nothing. We gain the liberty, the extreme freedom only, like his colleague Kami, who was hit by ambulance. Maybe he says that we get the real control over our life in this extreme situation, like Mercier is killing the Arabs on the beach in this great novel of Albert Camus, right? And we know that if we follow existentialism, that we can find a happiness in it. Because once you realize that you cannot control your life, your world, you determine, it really doesn't matter. Like Jean-Paul Sartre says in Nausea, in The Sickness, he says, I'm reading the book of this writer, and it's really bad book, and she's very bad writer, but I have to read some book. That's why I'm reading it. That's why I'm saying I have to live somewhere. I live now in Curacao. Before I live in Dominican Republic, before I live in USA, before I live in Canada, before I live in Spain, before I live in Sri Lanka, before I live in Austria, before I live in Philippines, before I live in Czech Republic, before I live in Denmark. So you have to live in some country, and you have to drink something. Yeah, I am drinking Coca-Cola and espresso, and you have to do something. I'm making the video, and I'm watching the sea, and I have to make somehow money or don't need to make money. I decided to make it and now don't to make it. So it's a determinism, and I'm materialist, actually, and I would say I'm an atheist, I'm not, agnostic. No, I resolve this thing. I believe this is probably simulation or whatever. So imagine that in moment you cannot control nothing, you feel a joy. Just like Sartre, Camus, they in foreigner, in extranger, you feel a joy. You don't give a shit you kill 2 Arabs on the beach, right? You don't give a fuck if you have a cancer or you have to live somewhere. So do you feel the joy? Do you feel the joy? It's kind of a hedonism actually, when they realized like there is nothing to do. Hedonism is actually very similar to existentialism. Yeah, this epicureanism is bullshit. So I was an absurdist, existentialist, and I'm becoming hedonistic absurdist. I don't say that it resolves my problem in life, but it's helping. Changing women and country is helping. It's not a cure which totally cure this nightmare called life or simulation or whatever, this program or whatever fucking it is, or this, the thing, but it's helping. When I change countries and women, it helps. It's like it's like you have Alzheimer and they giving you it's like you have a dementia and they give you antidepressants to calm you down. It doesn't resolve it, the frontal dementia, but it's calming you down. So, for example, good program how to live is to fuck and change countries. Don't you forget we really live in probably simulation and there are rules in the life. I just explained you one of these rules which we were following in the previous. Thank you very much. And we know that if you are billionaire, if you are royal court politician, if you are judge, if you are soldier, or if you are just servant, I told you the clue how to climb up or not to climb up if you bandit. Yeah, so there are rules. Like in quantum mechanics, there are rules. We know how the protons, all that crap. You can study it. I don't want to go in details. We know that there are rules, and we know in one moment because of Heisenberg there are no rules. So when you really zoom in, but there are some rules which you follow. You can play the game, which is not bad. Only the player are. You can follow what the simulator doing. You can simulate your life within your life. Yeah. So the only way how to win in casino is to own casino. Yeah. But for this, you have to look out of the box. So yeah. I mean, I guess if you just use this time in the simulation in one town, you can do it. I mean, it really doesn't matter because we will be all turned off on the end. We don't know if under the simulation is over, if we wake up somewhere like in Matrix and we see the real body, everything, or there is some afterlife. Yeah, we don't know. So the thing is, but within this simulation you can try some things. For example, earn $2-3 million. You can try this for fun to use the command run your brain, but don't think about the money like a money. Think about something else. Or think about being a bandit to fuck a system. And regarding the ethic, it doesn't exist. No, the ethic doesn't exist. You can go and kill 5 people here, nothing will happen. Maybe the simulation will or the god or something will punish you, but practically conscious doesn't exist. Karma is a joke. It's a joke. Or some God Mills or the Kant was a retarded person. He was an idiot. Don't do other people what you don't want to do to you, they would do to you. The most intelligent person regarding ethics was Niccolo Machiavelli, because he knows that the moral system is byproduct of the social of the civilizations. We born in this world and we taught not to beat the shit out of our schoolmate because we in jail, or we will be kicked out of the school, or we don't get the in Christmas nice toys. Later on, we are human beings. We are taught not to kill our co-citizens because we will be in the jail. That's a moral. It's a byproduct of the society. It's a nonsense. You see, it's a byproduct. So actually, you can kill a human being. There's nothing wrong about this. So, but a lot of people don't realize this. You see. So yeah. That's all what I wanted to tell you. On the beginning, I want to tell you to relax, so I a little bit, prolong the salutes. Marituriter salutam, ale jak tajos. And omnia vincit amor. That's my favorite one now. No vanitas vanitatum homo homini lucus, but omnia vincit amor. And that's why I am getting deep into my program of hedonism, and I would like to analyze the quantum fabrics of vagina. Like, I wanna look. The other day I was looking in vagina 1 hour. I was playing with it, it was leaking a little bit. I love to look at the vagina. I would like to put it under the microscope. So now I'm choosing for tonight. Posedět si.